Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. If you're a first-time listener, thank you for stopping by. I am your host, Josh Lilquist, and we are happy to have you with us today. As always, I do have my good friend and my good pal, and it's been a while since I've talked like this, but you know what? How is the Blue Man Group doing today? Mr. Al Connickson.
I must be wearing a blue shirt again.
You must be.
Hey, I like blue. I am doing fantastic. Josh, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good, and the market's looking really good, and that's what we're going to talk about here today, is about the markets, how good they are, because we're seeing some nice volatility, seeing some good market moves to the upside, some good market moves to the downside, especially after Wednesday and the CPI data. So let's talk about some of those different opportunities. Our sponsor, Trading Academy, over 26 years, almost 27 here in June, teaching people just like you how to trade, how to invest, whether you're looking for short-term income strategies or long-term wealth strategies. And that could be 401k, IRA strategies, whatever that soup du jour is. That's what we do here at the Academy, so let's discuss that. Before we do that, our market update right quick. Market's not at all-time highs, but very, very close. We did reach those last week, but after Wednesday's CPI data, we've seen a little drop there. We know what happened Thursday and Friday. The same thing with the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the IWM. They're all looking about the same strength over the last month, 2 months here. So gold has also been surging to the upside, continuing that rise, hitting the peak right around, depending on when you listen to the show, but $2,360 per troy ounce. And silver, the same story, reaching over 27, almost $28. Actually did hit over $28 per ounce. So the metals are doing really good. The question is that a flight to safety? And here's the issue, Al, is that usually correlates or inversely correlates with the markets, and it hasn't been like that for quite some time, in my opinion. But over the last, let's just say since February, gold and silver has been surging to the upside. So is that a sign of a market decline? And that was not supposed to be a rhyme, but it was. So now that being said, Al, since those are showing strength to the upside, we're starting to see some increased volatility with the market. And it's always not what's in the news, but it's what's in the clues. So I want to talk about some of those opportunities, some of the clues that you're seeing with this market. This market could continue to the upside. We just don't know, because if gold and silver has been correlating for quite some time, is it just a little head fake? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned a bunch of things there. But first of all, one of them that was not listening to the news. We don't trade based on the news. We trade based on what the charts are showing us, what's factually out there to look at. The CPI report, let's talk about that for a minute. On Wednesday, this last Wednesday, the market opened, the Dow was down around 500 points as it opened, because the CPI report came out with a higher number than anticipated. All the experts out there were looking for a 0.3% gain. It actually rose 0.4%, looking at the 12-month rate at 3.5%. And they're just not what we were assuming. They were expecting it to be 3.4%. So what it's showing is that inflation is stickier than people thought it was. And when you think about it, Josh, you know who has always known that inflation was higher than the numbers that we were seeing?
What's that?
The public, the people that were buying food in grocery stores, the people that were putting gas in their cars.
And it hasn't been a very good thing.
No, it hasn't been a good thing at all. Inflation has been huge. I mean, you look at some of the numbers there for food, for housing, up over the last few years, up over 20%. And one of the things that really caused this last CPI report to go up was the cost of insurance, automobile insurance. And
Interesting.
When you think about it, look at the sophistication of the cars that are out there now. Any kind of damage to a car, I had my wife has a new car, and she was in a parking lot. Actually, it was a church parking lot. She came out, somebody had dinged just the front bumper, just a little ding in the bumper.
I hope at a church parking lot they at least left a note.
There was no note, Josh.
Oh, no.
There was no note. There was somebody who needs to spend more time in church. But I took it to an auto repair place, and they said, well, we got to take the bumper up. We have to readjust the cameras and all of this stuff. It was like over $1,000, or I could buy like a $12 color pen and just fill it in.
And probably look just the same.
Probably, but the point is that the cars have become very expensive to fix, so insurance is going up. And that's something that everybody has to have. If you have a car, hopefully you have insurance on that car. Insurance on homes. The basic cost of staying alive has gone up significantly, and people have been feeling that. The Fed is having a hard time controlling inflation. And, we started out this year with people thinking there was going to be maybe 6 rate cuts. Well, that's significantly reduced now. The numbers showed that maybe at the next meeting, the Fed would be cutting rates. Now that number is going way down, and there are some people that think that, the Fed might not even cut rates this year. Mm-hmm. But the important thing is, you mentioned gold. Then gold can be a flight to safety. People, I think, are realizing that the companies that drove this market over the last year, and there were 7 of them really that were responsible for almost the full movement of the market last year. Mm-hmm. And some of those are starting to pull back a bit. So people are looking at things like gold or fixed income vehicles. But you know what? The only thing that's really important if you want to be a trader in this market is knowing where a stock is going to go and then when it's going to go there. When's the price going to move? How far is it going to go? What if there was a strategy that showed you how to do that? Let's talk about that in the next segment.
Let's do that. Talk about a teaser. Not only a teaser, but a spoiler. So as Al was talking about with the markets showing some nice volatility, some different news things that are happening, and you don't want to react off of that. And we're also going to talk about some other strategies about insurance like Al was talking about earlier. Everybody has insurance on their homes, their cars, themselves. I'm not quite sure most people have insurance on their portfolio, and it's very similar to working out. Physical fitness. I want to give an example here on the next segment. But Al, we have a lot of people that are listening right now that want to understand more about these markets because there's so much going on and they just don't know what is happening. They don't know what some of the terminology is, what a bull market is, what a bear market is, what dovish means, what hawkish means. We're going to discuss a lot of that stuff in these investing classes that we do locally here at the Academy, and to make sure that you are understanding what is happening with your 401ks, what is happening with your IRAs, what might be happening with your income accounts, whether you have a trading account yourself on a platform that you can open up online. There's different things that we teach here at the Academy to help you make smarter and more intelligent investing decisions. So to come to one of these classes, simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210. But do that right now. That way, when you do that, you can receive the Financial Quick Start Kit, which will help you get started right away. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for an investing class, one for you and one for a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. That's Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. That's Investing and Trading Live, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Coming up next, we got a lot to discuss. I'm going to give it a little example and a correlation of physical fitness and the stock market. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.